draft National Air Sports Policy pushes for safety standards. In this, why this topic is in news? Because recently the government of India has released the draft National Air Policy that will require entities providing these services and their equipments to be registered as well as liable for penalties. So because of rising air sports accidents and because low participation of India in air sports, so government has released this guidelines draft policy so that air sports in India can be promoted and also standard practices are followed by air sports companies so that accidents can be minimized and there can be better user experience. So aims and objective, as I mentioned, due to rising air incident, and number second, to make India top air sports nation by 2030. Point 3, to promote air sports culture in India. And 4, the other objective is to promote domestic design, development, and manufacturing of air sports equipment under the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan. Now, what is air sports? So, sports activity which involves the medium of air. There are 3 categories. Number 1, motorized air sports, then gliding air sports, and gravity air sport. So the policy covers activities like aerobatics, aeromodelling, image build, experimental aircraft, ballooning, drones, gliding, hand gliding, paragliding, micro lightning, paramotoring, skydiving, and vintage aircraft. So these are the air sports mentioned in the draft policy. However, you need not to remember all these, but you need to remember at least some of them. So this is ballooning, this is paragliding, this is skydiving. So the structure of governance under the draft policy, it follows 2-tier governance structure. First, Air Sports Federation of India, which it is the apex governing body, and then associations for each air sport. So different air sports will have different association. Now we'll discuss about Air Sports Federation of India. It is an autonomous body under the Ministry of Civil Aviation and will represent India at Lausanne headquartered and other global platforms related to air sports. Now, what is the important role? What is the role of Air Sports Federation of India? It will provide governance over various aspects of air sports, including regulation, certification, competition, and awards in case of best practices. And if any air sport company or authority is not following the guidelines, then it can also prescribe the penalties. Now, what is the role of other sports association? So the role of other sports association is to laying down its safety standard for their equipments, infrastructure, their personnel and training, and specify the disciplinary actions to be taken in case of non-compliance. So in the 2-tier governance structure, ASFI is the top body, and then there are multiple bodies pertaining to different air sports. Now, a important air sport destination in India, Vidhigya in Himachal Pradesh, Gangtok in Sikkim, Vagamon in Kerala, and Hadsar in Maharashtra. So these are important air sports destination in India. So in this topic, you need to remember the objectives of the draft National Air Sports Policy and types of air sport, that is motorized air sport, gliding air sport, and gravity air sport, and then the structure of the governance and the role of Air Sports Federation of India. So it's time for G quiz on the topic National Draft Air Sports Policy. Question number 1. What is the structure of governance under the National Draft Air Sports Policy? And your options are option A, 2-tier, option B, single authority, which is Air Sports Federation of India, option C, 3-tier, and option D, 4-tier. And the correct option is option A, 2-tier. Now, question number 2. Which ministry released the draft National Air Sports Policy? Your options are option A, Ministry of Home Affairs, option B, Ministry of Sports, option C, Ministry of Civil Aviation, option D, Ministry of Education. And the correct answer is option C, Ministry of Civil Aviation. It's time for question number 3. Which of the following is air sports category? Your options are A, motorized air sports, option B, gliding air sports, option C, gravity air sports, and option D, all of the above. And the right answer of this question is option D, all of the above. Question number 4, which of the following air sports destination is not correctly matched? Your options are option A, Vagamon in state of Kerala, option B, Bedbilling in state of Uttarakhand, option D, Hadapsar in state of Maharashtra, and option D, Gangtok in state of Sikkim. And the correct answer is option B, Bedbilling. Bedbilling is not located in the state of Uttarakhand, but it is located in the state of Himachal Pradesh. The final question, which of the following is not a air sport? Your options are option A, skydiving, option B, hang gliding, option C, microlighting, option D, jet skiing. And the correct answer is option D, jet skiing. Jet skiing is not a air sport, it is a water sport. So that's all for the today's quiz. Thank you. Stay logical with Vidhigya, your best pal in CLAT Preps.